So it is Monday, December 28th, 2020, and I'm driving home from work, and I had my old friend Sherry on my mind, so I'm actually going to post this video on the YouTube channel that we used to have, that she never really contributed to anyway. But it's where because of that, she saw my channel with what was supposed to be Carrie, which she took the wrong way, and doesn't speak to me because of anymore. Which I'm so disappointed in her for that, actually. You know, what had happened was, I had originally wanted to have these YouTube channels like the ones I had with my brother. So I made one for me and Carrie, and I made one for me and Sherry. And I thought that Sherry and Carrie would both be like Richie, and we would constantly be back and forth and doing them. Neither one of them ever participated in it. Carrie, I did her channel first, and she didn't want to participate because she was so afraid that people were going to be able to see what she said. I don't know why she would care. And she didn't get that, like, they were locked. You could only see them if you were administrator on our page. So the Carrie one I had kind of stopped using like that, since she not only never responded, but she basically never even really watched the ones that I did. So I kind of used that as my own personal journal, if you will. I would go in, because I do find that going back and looking at the videos I made with Richie, it's so beneficial to me, and I love having them. So I started chronicling everything, not just Sherry stuff, but things about my life that I wanted to remember, really, from my perspective, what had happened. Because, you know, over time, you, in your own mind, start to even change what the details of things were. So I had recorded a bunch of different things to myself about different things. And one of them was about how I felt about Rich dying. So time goes on, and something happens with Sherry, and she didn't respond to my video, but she did something, and in order for me to see what she did, I had to like sign in, and when I did, it gave her access to all of my channels. So then she could look not only at the channel her and I had together, but the one that I had with Richie and the one I had with Carrie. So it looked like I had made a video that Carrie had seen, which I don't even know if that's true, because I don't think she did. She never responded to it if she did. She never watched or replied to any of the other ones. But so Sherry watched that, and I guess one of my biggest problems was, before she was even upset with the content of what I had put in there, her main concern was that 5 or 7 views had been viewed of that particular video. So Sherry, who never cares what anybody else thinks, was so upset that 5 or 7 other people had watched that video. Well, the truth of the matter is, nobody watched that video. I watched that video. I watched it 5 times or 7 times or however many times it said it was watched. It's because I watched it over and over and over and over again, like I do with all of mine, especially back then, because I'm always trying to get on those fucking podcasts. Rob has a podcast. So nobody else watched that. And the truth is, even if they had, I didn't put anything in there that I regret. So, I mean, I would have never said to her face that Rich was a loser because he had just died. But the truth of the matter is, we spent 20 years talking on the phone about what a loser Rich was. And right up until he died, there was stuff going on that was creeperton. I don't know. So then she went on and on about how can I have put that on when Santino can see it? No, he can't. And how can I leave it up when Santino, I was there when he was born, or whatever. So I blocked the channel from anybody being able to see it, including her, even though she was in it as an administrator. But I'm not deleting any of those videos. That's how I felt. And I don't think, and then she sent me so then after a couple of weeks of not speaking to her, because she was like the closest person literally in my life, even more than men that I've been in relationships with, I kind of sent her a quick, like, I can't believe this is happening. I wish I knew what to say. How dumb is this? And she had this whole long rant telling me how every single thing that I remembered from her was incorrect. You know, like when Rich, from my memory, took her information, opened credit cards, and started buying all these fucking Nike sneakers. There were closets full of them, so he could try to resell them on eBay or whatever. That was before they went bankrupt. That I didn't make that up. So either she lied to me when it was going on and didn't like that I remembered it, or it happened and she wants me to pretend that it didn't. And I'm just not in a position to do that. And it's the same thing with what she's so afraid Santina was going to say. So what now? I'm supposed to like pretend that Rich was father and husband of the year? Really? So I'm not doing that. I'm just not. And you know, I can tell you, when Richie died, nobody in my life I love more than Richie, but do I expect people to pretend that Richie was the greatest friend and the most wonderful brother just because he's dead? Because he wasn't. I mean, I miss him to death and I loved him to death, but he was sometimes an awful person. He treated me not that well. You know what I mean? He was awful to my mother. So, I don't know. But anyway, now this year of 2020 is almost over with, and it's like, it's just been such a weird year with the pandemic and all the politics bullshit. And Sherry's I've been friends with since I got out of high school at 17 years old in August. In July, actually. We started at the state together. And now we don't speak because she doesn't like that I remember that Rich was a loser. That's how I feel. And the more it goes on, the angrier I feel about it. So you're dropping me after all these years because of your fake memory about somebody that did nothing but treat you like shit? So, I don't know. I guess I'm starting to feel bitter about it. And at one point I kept thinking, you know, this is going to go by and then she's going to call me and I'm going to be like, this was dumb and, you know, we need to... But the truth is, I think if she called me now, I'd be like, fuck you, kind of. You're going to stop talking to me because Rich was an asshole and I remember it? So, I don't know. I guess that's my little tirade.